Good evening, everyone. Looks like we're live. This is Tom, the Lone Wolf Prepper. Welcome to Lone Wolf Prepper Dukes of Hazzard Friday Night Live. A place for all us patriots to come to discuss what's happening and what needs to be done. Anyway, a few channel things. Channel's still growing. Made up my goal for subscribers and all that stuff. It's going good. Even though YouTube isn't helping much. I don't know why people should be afraid to hear what other people have to say. If you're confident in what you believe or how you feel, what somebody else says, it shouldn't hurt that at all. Anyway, I just find it weird. But I did start a new deal on my channel every morning. I don't know what do you think of what do you think of my thought of the day, Carol? I thought it was pretty neat. All the people, they put up these posts and they have, a picture and they'll have some words over the picture and stuff. And, you read it and stuff, but this is the way that I do them. Okay. I guess you could say I got lots of one-liners and, it's just a good way to get them out. The first one I put out there about the kids. I had a few hate messages on that, on comments on that. And one thing about YouTube I'm not quite understanding is I don't get to see all the comments. Like there'll be so many comments on a video, but I won't have that many comments for me to reply to. So if I don't reply to your comment or thumbs up or whatever, or I haven't read it, it's because YouTube isn't giving it to me. Now, I don't know what that is. What that'd be all about, because trolls are allowed to threaten my life and insult me from one end to the other, and they don't take those off. So I don't know what that's all about. But the thought of the day, I'll be doing that Monday through Saturday. Sundays I'm not going to do one. But just something to get people thinking for a brief moment. And you gotta, my thoughts of the day, you gotta listen to them, think about it, and then listen to it again. Then go a little bit further down the rabbit hole. That's the easiest way I can explain it. Okay. And I don't want to do thoughts of the day of insulting the other side or not. And I want them to think too. Okay. Not everything we do on our side is perfectly right either. Okay. But anyway, that's the deal on the channel. Channel's growing. Appreciate all of the new subscribers. We got to work on getting the live streams to take off, but a little bit at a time, baby steps, and before you know it, I'll be monetized and I'll have subscribers, and I'll need moderators and stuff. That's one thing about this channel. I'll never ask for a super chat or nothing like that. I got a job, okay, and I'm not in this for the money. Not that there's any money in YouTube anyway, the way it sounds. But I'm in this because I felt I had to do something. Do something to get my words out. Oh, the nest and the new babies. Yeah, Carol, I went by there tonight, and Mama was in there. But like I say, that was yesterday. She was standing on a nest. I think that was yesterday, wasn't it? And I've been watching that nest since I knew they were going to start, because they were starting to add to it and stuff. So I've been watching her for about 3 weeks, sitting on the eggs. What she would do is she'd see me come up, and then she'd squatch way down in there, so I couldn't get a good video of her and stuff. But yesterday when I saw her perched on the nest, I knew the babies were there. But I went out there today, and she didn't stay by the nest. She took off. She stayed around, flying around, but I got out of there. It's going to be, I'd say at least a week or 10 days before I'm gonna be able to get to a point where I'll be able to see them. If I have to put a camera out there and just disappear, I'll do that. I was thinking about getting a drone and flying over their heads, but I don't want to do anything like that to you know, interfere too much. So, yeah, there's babies everywhere out here, everywhere, everything, antelope, deer, elk, every type of wildlife, waterfowl you can think of. They're just everywhere. I don't understand the pelicans myself, but whatever. We're thousands of miles from an ocean, but I mean, we're in a desert area. But with the Ogallala Aquifer underneath us, it's just a wildlife kingdom out here. And that's one thing. YouTube is hard on this channel. But yeah, love is in the air, that's for sure. But they won't promote my Wild Kingdom channel. I can put a video that on this channel and maybe take another video of the same thing from a different angle, put that on my wildlife show, and it doesn't get a single view. They won't even put it on the feeds. I don't even talk, no politics over there, nothing. It's strictly wildlife. I thought that's what liberals were supposed to like, and they won't do anything to promote the channel. The first night I had it on there, I opened that channel up. I put 4 videos on. I got like 900 views and 4 subscribers right away, and then they just shut it down. I don't know. I guess the way I talk about wildlife scares them too. Whatever. But I enjoy that stuff. I enjoy nature. That's one reason I'm out here. My oldest daughter asked me one time when she was smaller, she goes, "Dad, can you talk to animals? You sure seem like you can." I said, "No, sweetie. I've just been ignoring people longer than you have." So, anyway, my thought of the day is going to keep going. At least, the thing is too with my views, right? Probably about 420 or 410 to about 560. That's where most of them go. Whether I get that in 800 times they put it on the feed, or if it takes me 1,300 times to put it on the feed. Once I hit that magic 400 number, they start slowing it down. I don't understand that, especially when I'm getting a 75% view rate and a 200% plus duration time. This is the thing with YouTube. They're not running it like a business. They're running it all on their political stance. And that's where you cut out half your customers right away. And who are they cutting out? They're cutting out the people that have jobs and have money. And they're trying to run their business on people that are on government assistance. And they're wondering why they got to run these stupid ads all the time. Well, why don't they promote some conservative channels, stuff that people want to hear? Just YouTube. I'm not going to go to another platform. You know why? Because I don't feel somebody should have to pay to have to hear what I have to say. Okay, I don't have time for that. The town crier didn't charge people back in the revolutionary days so he could spread the news, spread his opinion about stuff. Anyway, but we're still growing. So no matter how hard they're trying to smack me down, one still gets through. Like that first other day, when that thing took off, couldn't believe it. But whatever. But the thing is, that was only put on the feed not even 18,000 times. And I got over 10,000 views. Well, how am I supposed to get 100,000 views if you won't even put it on the feed 100,000 times? And I do got some videos out there, and I'm sure, Carol, you've seen some of them. The very sensitive ones, what you might call, that have 100% view rate, full duration. And they just, you got to almost sit there and dig it up like you're hunting for buried treasure to find it. This little old me can say something that scares them so much. Anyway, let's get on with the video. I got some good news. We're going to start with some good news, okay? Leah Thompson is not going to be able to go to the Olympics and compete against women in women's swimming. Oh my goodness. There is some sanity left in the world. I don't understand a man whose main goal is to bring home trophies from women's sports competitions. It's crazy. You got men and women's boxing beating the shit out of women. Isn't that a crime? You know, if they would have put a woman in with Mike Tyson wouldn't even would have walked out of the ring. What did that one gal says? Only the weakest of men want to compete with women. Yeah, weak men. By the way, thank God. I mean, you imagine how many gold medals he would have brought back, stealing it from these women. I can't imagine what it's like to be the second. Well, you were the top woman in swimming in America, and then this guy comes in who's like 464th rated in the world, right? Comes in, dominates your sport, puts you in second place after you worked all those years. But we're supposed to care about its feelings, right? And he wants to walk around the locker room and wag his wiener in front of all the girls and stuff. Boy, I tell you what, if I was those women, a bar of soap and a towel and just start beating on his ass. Okay, well, what's going on here? We got a storm coming over. So if I do happen to lose the internet, since I am out in the middle of nowhere, it's very possible lightning strikes can do very incredible things out here. I don't know if it's like the ground just conducts all that electricity, but anyway, if you lose me, I'll try to, if YouTube don't do it and I lose it through the internet, but so we'll keep going on. So anyway, Leah Thompson's not allowed to compete as a woman in the Olympics. Outstanding. Outstanding. A little sanity. I mean, they got to start calling these bluffs on these people. I am not going to live in the real world with them expecting me to live in their imaginary world. Okay? That's not happening. I got punished if I would have acted like that as a kid. I'm just so lucky that my parents said no to a lot of the stupid things I wanted to do when I was growing up. So anyway, yeah, good for the Olympics. I just, like I say, I wish the women would get in that locker room, put a bar of soap in that towel, and they all need to corner him and just beat the living tar out of him. Yeah. I'm not calling for violence. I'm just calling for them to stand up for themselves. Nothing wrong with that anyway. Anyway, now to the video. Things are going to get crazy. Why do I say that? Well, we live in a mad, mad, mad world. We're paying for it, and they just keep pushing more of this on us. The world's becoming a very dangerous place. And let's see why. Number one reason why the world is such a dangerous place is because the United States federal government. Okay. The enemy of us and the enemy of, anybody who doesn't bow down to the liberal communists. But, JoJo's lost his mind. The leader of the free world has lost his mind. Trying to find imaginary chairs in Normandy, right? Not trying to find an imaginary toilet, but a chair. And then it's continuously, like at the G6, oh, we're over here, Joe. I don't know who you're talking to, but we're all over here. He's losing his mind. That's very dangerous for a person in his position. Especially when that government's trying to piss off every, country that can, do damage to us. Okay. He's a complete embarrassment. Complete embarrassment. How else do you put it? They want to call Trump an embarrassment. I don't know where, like I told you, I get this liberal post on my feed all the time. And I answer it as a conservative. And I still get that liberal post. I don't understand it. But they come up with some of this weird stuff like Trump's the embarrassment and stuff. I'm looking at this and it's like, really? Maybe that's what it is. Liberals live in this alternate reality where they only, the reality where they only see what they want to see. Yeah. But see, he's being exploited by these people around him. And almost to the point where we got to feel sorry for the guy. I mean, you don't think Putin in Russia doesn't know what's going on? He's got more information than us on what goes on in that White House. I mean, if he were to go after Biden now, it's just, it's almost to the point where what do? We're looking up for the American people to start doing something to end this crap. I'll get into that anyway. But it's an embarrassment, and that shows a weakness in that spot. You got a doddering old fool walking around a stage, bending over to poop his pants on another stage as people land, the airborne's landing. He's over here talking to ghosts. It's not like it's the first time. Okay? And then one of the Italian world leader that whatever had that. We're over here, Joe. And this is also the stuff they don't show on CBS, NBC, MSNBC. The news clips there, they don't show that. They show the 3-second clip where you can put 2 or 3 words together without sounding stupid. But, the people around him. Or, it could be the thing where Barack Obama needs him there, so that way he can run the country just fine. And, he's in the shadows. Better to run a country from the shadows than in the limelight. The Democrats have definitely known that, but I can't believe Barack Obama's that high up on the ladder like George Soros, but maybe he is. But showing all this, when the bully is weak, the bully is now in danger. Okay? And that's what's going on. The world's in danger. And what is some evidence of this? Okay. We got some Russian ships sailing down the east, or they sailed down the East Coast, and they're in Cuba now. 2 supports. I think one was a frigate, some type of small warship, and a sub. Okay. Okay. People getting all excited. Personally, if our side's getting all excited because they're sailing, I guess the closest point they got was 30 miles away. Well, in Russia, our equipment's being used to kill and bomb their places and kill their people. Okay, and we just gave permission to Zelensky to use our long-range missiles in an offensive manner. Okay? And we're going to get excited because Russia's floating ships down our East Coast that can harm us in no way. Okay? I guarantee you they'd have that sub blown out of the water before it got the torpedo out of its tube or the missile launched. Okay? But think about what Russia's going through. Personally, if I was Putin, okay, I would have started at the north of the East Coast, got in 15 miles of the coast. 15 miles. That way, as he's going down the coast, Americans can see a foreign warship and a sub cruising our shore. And there's nothing the United States can do about it. Nothing. Kind of like we do. But to show the Americans how dangerous this world is becoming because we refuse to do anything about what the federal government's doing. Okay? No, I don't get excited about this. It's because I spent time on ship being in the Marine Corps. I was part of the Marine Expeditionary Unit, Special Ops capable, that type of stuff. And we played this game of cat and mouse with countries that, we want to intimidate. And believe me, in the 80s, we did a lot of intimidating. We'll put it this way. I know we were a lot closer than 50 miles. Because we were doing this stuff, we had to go 50 miles out to sea to dump trash. And then be right back up by the shore. Okay. This is one thing I saw when I was in the service. Is how we would manhandle these other countries. And me personally, I saw the resentment in their eyes, these people's eyes. And now these people that I saw the resentment, they have children. It's their children that are doing the fight now and stuff. I could see all of it coming. Okay. But this is the way the world works. What I found out too when I was in? There's always a war. There's always a chess game going on. And you're just one little pawn in it. But when you're part of it, you don't even think about it. Just another day, you wake up on the ship or wake up on the beach or whatever. Wake up and you're getting on the helicopter. Whatever. That's why I don't get excited about it. Because you know what? Those days are coming back. Those days are coming back where we were shadowed by Russian ships. Oh, yeah. And people in this country all of a sudden are getting excited because the closest those ships got were 30 miles off the coast of Florida, and now they're docked in Cuba. I don't still understand the excitement. I mean, how excitable will we be then if Mexico was launching Russian-made stuff or Venezuela was launching Russian-made stuff into the U.S.? Okay, I mean, what we do all over the world, and we expect other people. We expect we can fight a war and drop bombs, bullets all day long. But the second you even look at us and say a harsh word to us, you're in the wrong. And that's the way it's been going on for too long. And the world's pissed. And because we got a weak leader, and everybody knows we're weak, like my State of the Union little short, what JoJo sees in the mirror every day, we're weak and impotent. Okay? You don't think world's leaders see that? Especially when he's wandering around on stage, bending over looking for an invisible chair, right? How much more of that do we got to see? But the world needs to see this. Do you think Putin, this is a joke? I mean, Putin's playing chess and Biden's playing kindergarten checkers. These liberals, we got a nuclear arsenal, we're safe. Before the election, yeah, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. Most definitely. Anyway, and then, what's coming too, see what's happening in this world is the U.S. is losing its position as top dog. So what has that created? That has created a vacuum for the other powerful nations of the world to fill that position. That's what's going on. Okay? And we're going to see who's going to fill that vacuum. But because JoJo's in there, I'm getting into more of this, but because we're a weak nation, okay, we lost our position. A vacuum was created, and it's being filled by the next contestant, I guess. Okay. Um, I just with the Russia thing, wait till they're in the Gulf of Mexico. Wait till they have their little secret bases 50 miles from our border in Mexico. It's sad to think, but we've surrounded Russia for how many years with NATO and stuff? I guess Russia's figured out they're going to do it too. And hopefully the American people will wake up and we can end this garbage. Okay. Also being weak. Okay. Our country is broke. Ukraine war is lost. Ukraine cannot win. There's no way. We're just sticking money into a bottomless pit. And now JoJo's promised them 10 years of financial security. I mean, it's not only the war and the weapons. It's they're paying for their politicians' pensions. And to set up their infrastructure, not ours. After Russia bombs it, they'll set it back up. Russia will bomb it again, they'll set it back up. Well, we got to deal with our infrastructure and our roads and stuff. I know Russia can just beat the living daylights out of Ukraine. Even with NATO stuff there, it doesn't matter. Ukraine is down to its convicts fighting, okay? Convicts and old men. I just don't quite understand what Russia's doing. Do I think world peace we'd have a better world if they would just take over Ukraine and be done with it? Yeah. But like Lindsey Graham said, the real reason wars are fought, the real reason. There's tens of trillions of dollars in minerals and stuff, Ukraine is a very rich country when it comes to their raw materials, their resources. So it's all over money. People that are rich in the West don't have enough money. They see Ukraine as a golden opportunity. Like I say, what do wars do? Make some men rich and a lot of poor men dead. Okay? Because that's what it's come down to. 10 years. 10 years. So they ever planned this out for 10 years? You know how long we were in World War II? We were in World War II from December 7th, 1941. And I hate that I can't remember this, but I believe they signed, the Japanese signed the surrender. I know I'm probably later on this, September 16th. Okay. Was on the deck, brain farts, on the deck of either Missouri or the Arizona. So you're looking at not even 4 years. Okay. So the Ukraine war has been going on now since well over 2 years. 2 years, 4 months, almost 4 months. And they're planning on us paying for another 10 years. Where's the money coming from? I can't believe this stuff is actually happening. But see, I think it all planned. I don't know why the Democrats want to be, king of a graveyard, but that's what they're trying to do. there ain't going to be nothing left. And all the people that are going to be left, well, whatever. They're going to have a mess on their hands. But king of a graveyard. That's what they're working for. They're bringing the United States down to nothing. Haven't they read history? What happened to Rome or to the world, except for the East after Rome fell? What happened to the Europe part and stuff? The Dark Ages for hundreds of years. That is what's going to happen to the West when they destroy America. It's going to take the West down. It's all based on the dollar. And what's going to be the light shining? China, Russia. Heck, we'll probably get stuff that says made in North Korea. I sure the hell hope not. Yeah, I'm sorry, Carol. I don't look at my chat that much. Yeah, stock up. What's the difference? If you got to have the government tell you to stock up with what's going on, you're blind. And this is the thing us preppers need to realize. If you start helping somebody that hasn't prepared, you just became their welfare office. Okay? They're going to go where they know they can go to get it. And if they can't get it, if you won't give it to them, why do you think the welfare office is behind bulletproof glass and cipher lock doors? Because they can't upset the people they're serving. But yeah, I mean, you got to see what's going on. And then, you need to be prepared for at least a month. You should be able to handle a month. You have a storm come through, whatever. There could be anything, but at least a month, which, I figure like this. I need enough for at least a year, okay? If you are not self-sufficient in a year, and that means you are totally, living a life after 4 seasons where you're living off the earth and stuff, you ain't going to make it. If you plan on eating MREs for 20 years, you're not going to make it. And one thing about all you people that eating MREs, they'll clog you up real good. Okay. There's definitely not something you want to eat day after day, every meal. You get sick of them real fast. Chicken a la king for breakfast and stuff like that. Cold weather training, sleeping with your MRE in your sleeping bag. So it was thawed out in the morning, so you had a thawed out breakfast and stuff like that. Yeah, and you wonder why I'm a lone wolf, huh? Anyway. But what's another thing? This financial collapse. Like I say, we're paying for all this stuff. We can't afford it. The debt clock's just climbing. Now, like I say, when our liabilities far exceed our assets, meaning that if we sold everything, we'd still owe $100 trillion. Okay, it ain't gonna work. All right, you're never gonna catch up. I don't know where they're getting this money to give to Ukraine that they're promising. Okay, just to fight these wars. But, after JoJo, they steal the election and put him back in power. Yep. Come January, they'll start. It's time for the draft. Time to start sending us these young conservative men to fight. We can get rid of them that way. Plus, like I say, if you're wearing high heels, and you got to rush with combat boots on, you're probably going to die. Unless you stab them with your high heel, get a lucky shot in. Okay. And what about all this? Where are they getting all this money for this housing and this food and all this stuff to take care of these illegals? I mean, I heard of what some of these hotel rooms are getting, whether they have people in them or not. I mean, they're just taking advantage of this government. American citizens taking advantage of the government because of a crisis. Screw the Americans. I'm going to take the money. Even if I only got one room filled and I got 20 rooms, I'm going to take all the money. I hate money. I'll never accept a super chat. I just don't like money. I've seen too much of harm it's done in the world. I've tried everything I can to avoid becoming rich. Sometimes I wasn't almost successful, but I know that sounds weird. I can't be bought. I mean, I can't be tempted. People just scratch their heads sometimes and walk away. Well, what are you going to do? That's one thing. And all these commercials you see for these government benefit programs and stuff, I'm so sick of seeing them. Just trying to make the American more dependent on the system, losing their independence. With what? A green piece of paper. Not happiness, a green piece of paper. Thinking they can buy happiness with that. Anyway, and then this Camp Lejeune settlement thing. Okay. I was in Camp Lejeune 86 and 87. Okay. I'm really healthy. And I wrote a comment on one. Well, I said it did the opposite for me. I'm as healthy as I can be at my age. But just something to get more money. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. All I know is I drank a lot of water at Camp Lejeune during 86 and 87. And I haven't had no ill effects. So anyway, yeah. Money, like I say, is a necessary evil. And I partake in as least amount of it as possible. I don't feel skills. I mean, I don't feel money is important. My kids, they're not wanting to learn skills and their boyfriend's not wanting to learn skills. I said, you better have a lot of money then because you're going to have to pay somebody to do that. But, skills will take me to the end of my days. Money. And then, I've had times where I'm financially set anyway, but where, I had more money and it just my phone rang, more and more people wanted it. Since I was successful, everybody else got the benefit from it. I just hate money. I hate it. Look at me for what kind of worker I am or what kind of person I am or, money. Green piece of paper. But you can't get it through their heads, You live a life like me where you don't want to covet anything anybody has. You don't feel jealousy. You don't chase the dollar bill. I live a really simple and happy life, and I don't need the bells and whistles of this world. What are you going to tempt me with? Okay? I just want the government to get the hell out of my life so I can really start living a free life. By the way, and then the dollar's going to crash. Okay, everybody knows the dollar's going to crash. Then they're going to bring in that digital currency and have complete control, where they can tell you how and where and when you can spend and what you can spend your money on. And when the dollar collapses, people will be praying, please bring that in. Just like 2008, with what they call that stupid $1 trillion or 900 some $billion bill they passed. I want to say, I can't remember what it was called, but or 9/11 and the Patriot Act. If Americans were able to be totally independent and didn't looked at the government as something in their way of them succeeding, the government wouldn't have power like this. Somehow, over the years, Americans have been bought. I mean, when I was a kid, being on government assistance didn't look good. Okay, you know, but in fact, I only know of one family in our town of 2200 that was on government assistance, and everybody knew it. Okay, but they didn't have no ambition, so they were allowed to live like that. But anyway, then they'll have total control or bought. Yeah, I mean, all over a green piece of paper. I don't understand it. What can that green piece of paper give you that you can't work for and achieve on your own? I mean, I believe you should be paid. I like that I get paid with worthless green pieces of paper, and I'm able to exchange them for something that's worth something, and that's going to go up in value over the years, or buy supplies, things that are going to keep me alive. Okay? What are we going to do when that green piece of paper is not accepted no more? Because, how much money with Saddam Hussein's picture? How much was that worth in Iraq after the Iraqi war again? So, but let's move on to the election. Okay. Number one, they better not even try not to have an election. I know. What's worse? We all know the election is going to be just fraud everywhere. And hopefully Donald Trump somehow, we could stem the fraud to where they can't cheat like they did last time. Keep it to the level that they did in 2016 with Hillary Clinton. Okay. But I guess having a fraudulent election would be better than having no election. Okay. Ukraine didn't have an election. Zelensky's still in charge. Maybe that was a beta test to see how people would react. I never heard much on the news about that. A lot of people, what? There was no election. He's still in charge? Yeah. Well, let me tell you, if they try to do that here, that means on November 6th, in my eyes, the federal government no longer exists. Congress, the Congress, the House of Representatives, the Senate, the executive branch, none of it exists. Local, none of it exists. I mean, if we are not allowed to vote out these morons that got us into this mess, causing Russia to sail ships down our eastern coast, if we're not allowed to get rid of them and throw off these guards and bring other guards, well, then I guess there's only one way to do it. But they try that. No. The federal government, like I said, I already claimed my independence from them. But, I mean, would they go that far? We even had election during the Civil War. The North did. Not the United States, just the North did. But they still had an election. Okay. Anyway, they just better not cancel it. And if they do have one against JoJo, Trump is going to win. I mean, the Democrats have lost with Biden on the ballot, have lost so much credibility and support. It's ridiculous. Okay. But, there's no way Biden's going to win, and there's no way they can give up power. So they got to do something. Okay. Now, in the nonviolent way, like I say, as be bringing Barack Obama in. All right. That'd be the nonviolent way. Put him on the ticket, let our heavyweight run against their heavyweight, and let the chips fall where they may. And we just watch like hell from the cheating to keep the cheating down. But you know, but even their same old tricks ain't gonna bring, ain't gonna put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Okay, all the king's horse and all the king's men, they can't cheat enough to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Okay, and people say Gavin Newsom or Michelle Obama, that'd be a sideshow. They're not. Gavin Newsom, really? How many times he's been on a recall, or they did that, try to get rid of him in California? You know, he the possibility of him even winning California in an election is slim to none. In Michelle Obama, there's no way. Nobody in their right mind would vote for Michelle Obama. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I can see her talking to Putin all day long. But there's a lot of stuff they can do to try to, knock Trump down. But it seems like everything they try just makes him stronger. That's all he is. He's like impervious to bullets right now. Everything they do, he can make a joke about it. People laugh and they see it. People are getting sick of it. Like I say, what they did to him in New York, how many black guys got railroaded just like they did from the DAs in New York? And then you expect those black people to support you, Biden? Really? I'm glad you say you're not going to pardon Hunter until November 6th. Anyway, they better not try the no election. And I don't know what shenanigans they're going to do to try to beat Trump, but I know they're not going to be able to cheat enough this time. So, and I just can't believe what's the first debates coming up June 27th. How are they going to put the man that was just at the G6 on a debate stage with Donald Trump? I mean, the thing is, if they do this and he starts walking away and starts talking to invisible people right there where everybody can see and they can't hide it, these Democrats, whatever. When people start believing their own senses again, believe what they're actually seeing or hearing, and what they're paying for prices at the store and stuff, but they're going to see that. I mean, can you imagine? Do I think something's going to happen? I think something's going to happen soon, because to get him out of the election. If not, they almost got to do something to provoke us to do something to take the attention off. Or they're going to have to provoke Russia. But they got to do a lot to provoke Russia. I mean, they tried it with Nord Stream, didn't work. Tried bombing that bridge, isn't working. Russia's using a lot of patience. But I just, like my last live, a dangerous and desperate Democratic Party. What are they willing to do? Remember, with them, the means justifies the ends. Okay? So, anyway, and guess what? We're all in the middle. But, they've really created a lot of division in this country. Being on YouTube, I've seen it. There's one last little thing I want to cover. And that's JoJo's insisting on threatening the American people. You better not. If you disagree, I'm sick of getting threatened with F-15s. And you may say, well, that's stupid. Yeah. Well, Barack Obama proved that a president is willing to arm a missile, put a missile on a jet and shoot at an American and kill him without due process. Okay. Yeah, I think it was in, where was it? Somalia he did that? But it's just, we can do it here. I'm sick of it. Where's the FBI that's talking to JoJo and say, hey, what exactly did you mean by that? We go around to these other people and shoot them down at 6 o'clock in the morning because they put something on Facebook you didn't like. Well, why do you keep threatening these people like this? Will never happen. Or if they did, it'd say, well, he's just not mentally competent to do it. And then, about the war. I don't know if JoJo realizes this, but he doesn't own those F-15s and those aircraft carriers and those nuclear weapons and those tanks and stuff. He don't own them. He didn't pay for them. We did. So that means we own them. And if we choose to take over a base and use all the equipment that we paid for to fight our enemy, well, that's just fine. When you threaten us with our own stuff we bought, it's like threatening somebody with their own gun. Okay? And what's another thing? Do you threaten your friends? Your fellow Americans? Or do you threaten your enemies? Do you spy on your friends? Or your fellow Americans? Or your enemies? Do I need to tell you any more what our country thinks of what we are? But that's fine, because I realize that they are my enemy. So, anyway, I'm just sick of it, JoJo. You're the president. You sit in the office of the president of the United States. And you're going to talk down to me like that. Either I believe the way you believe, or I got to be killed, or go to a re-education camp, right? Yeah, that's what the Nazis called the concentration camps too, re-education camps. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't listen to bullshit, believe it, and try to be part of the devil's workshop. Ain't gonna work for me. But anyway, yeah, things are about to get crazy. It's only what, little over 4.5 months to the election. Trump's still got to get sentenced. That's going to be another circus with all these liberals just thirsting at not to put Trump as Christ, okay? And all I'm trying to do is, when Christ was on that cross, dying, how do you think the people below the cross were acting? Like the liberals against Donald Trump? Or like concerned people that want to save you? A bunch of lunatics, frothing at the mouth, knowing that what they thought was their biggest enemy was being killed. Yep. Bunch of insane lunatics dancing around. So, that's what they're doing to Trump. And that's what they want, just thirsting for it. And they can't see. They can't see what's really going on. Completely blind to everything. So engrossed in their hatred. I mean, ask them, why do you hate Donald Trump? They can't come up with a good reason. They just regurgitate all this other stuff other people have heard. I mean, I'm not saying he's a perfect guy, because he's not. But he's the only one that's talking to me about personal responsibility, okay? About getting us out of wars and stuff like that, getting the economy back. This is another reason why JoJo's going to lose, okay? Why Clinton won, because he was told. It's the economy, stupid. When Americans start hurting in the pocketbook, especially after you made us, most Americans, so addicted to money, what do you think is going to drive their vote? Anyway, yeah, things are going to get nuts. Now, you need to prepare and not be scared. The day may come where, which I think is very possible, where we may have conventional warheads coming over and bombing factories and stuff and taking out targets in Europe. Remember, Putin said he will take out decision-making centers. And that would include the Pentagon. And dare I say, the White House. Things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. Remember, World War II lots of people died. And the only thing that really ended it was nuclear weapons. It had to get that bad. What do you think we're in store for? Okay. Anyway, prepare. Get your skills. And definitely, I wouldn't make too many plans past November 6th, except surviving. So, like you say, if Biden and Trump are on there, screw this new normal. I can't deal with this new normal. New normal is communism. That's just another name for the communism. Okay? Flat out communism. Okay, new normal. New normal means that I'm going to become a financial slave to the government and be stressed out and be scared that I may be shot down. Not scared. That's the wrong word. But I have to worry about whether I'm going to be shot down at 6 o'clock in the morning because I'm on YouTube saying something. I just assume we fix this so I can get off YouTube and get on with my life. The second this new normal is over, I don't have to be on YouTube no more. And I can go about my life. Okay, and I think that, it's going to take, I know it's going to take a war because tyrants don't stop, okay? Like my thought of the day today. The strength of a tyrant comes from the weakness of a strong people. And good moral people have a lot of weaknesses. For the one thing, they don't want to hurt other people. We're very passive people. We'll turn the other cheek. I've turned around from a fight more than once, took a punch, and just turned around instead of beating the person up. Okay? Because it wasn't the fight that I had to fight. But this is the fight I have to fight. It's not because of the way we're acting. It's because of the way what they're doing. All this insane stuff that we have to swallow. And the average American's really starting to wake up now. Okay? And realize that we're not all that different. Especially when you got foreigners coming in here, illegal immigrants that aren't Americans. They're just, like the Bronx. Everybody's realizing the difference between an American and an illegal. Okay? And maybe all us Americans will get together as Americans and fight as a group no matter what our differences are. Just like they did in the Revolutionary War. 13 countries coming together, not states, but 13 individual countries coming together to forget about their differences and take on everybody's common enemy, the King of England. I guess we're not to that point yet. I don't know what it's going to take. But, I know there are some extremely lost people in the world. And that's sad where the Democrats makes them dependent on them. And these people are never allowed to spread their wings and soar and maximize their potential and become the human being God made them to be. Because they'd rather choose, a human being is an inherent lazy animal. And, all this obesity and stuff and diabetes and, all these, I don't know. I don't have to go to the doctor. So I'm lucky there, but, they're pushing it. And the Lexington Concord moment's going to happen. The 9/11 for the Patriots is going to happen. And all these retards, Antifa, BLM out in the streets, acting all goofy, thinking they're all tough and stuff. Well, let me tell you, when us conservatives finally get pissed off enough to take to the streets, because every single time you Antifa or BLM have met conservatives, you always got your ass kicked. Remember Kyle Rittenhouse, an 18-year-old kid with no military training at all, took out your big tough guys? What do you think you're going to do against us vets? Us conservatives, when we come out, take our country back. Okay? And frankly, I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to care about your safe room or your feelings. You are the enemy. Flat out. Just like you think of me, I think of you no different. And when the time comes, I hope you're willing to die for your side too. Bunch of cowards. Anyway, that's all I got for tonight. Oh, we're already over an hour. That's all I got for the night. Appreciate everybody being here. But we'll be here next Friday. I'll keep up putting out that thought of the day. I really just want feedback on that. It's to get people to think. Whether it pisses you off so bad or whether you're just agreeing with it completely, I want to hear it. But you know what? Let me tell you something about you Democrat liberals when you comment. It's hard to have a discussion with somebody whose only thing that can come out of their mouth is hatred and insults. Okay? How am I supposed to have a nice, logical conversation with you when you're acting like a damn first grader? Okay? I like intelligent debates. I mean, that's all I ask. Stop being so angry for just a second. Think it through, be logical, and put it down without any emotion. Anyway, you're right, Carol. All enemies, foreign and domestic. The thing is, we got a foreign enemy in this country now through the borders, and we got a domestic enemy run the country. Okay? Like I say, our patriotic government has been taken over by the loyalists. Doesn't that make sense? Coming from a revolutionary standpoint. Anyway, I'll be back next Friday. I'm kind of playing with the time to see what I can do to get more views on my live chat. So anyway, I realize YouTube has hiding me too. I mean, I get all the analytics for this. I see everything. I mean, they said I see everything. They give me all the information, and they're going to come to me and tell me they ain't shadow banning. Really? Well, that's what it looks like to me. When everything's exactly the same, and there's no up or down in it, or are we just living in a monotone world? Anyway, but the channel will break free once, and the truth is going to get out there. Okay, like I say, I'm in it to spread the truth, not for the money. And as soon as we settle all this, I get to go to my little happy world and do my homesteading and live my retirement life like I want to, in peace and quiet without government intrusion. Anyway, this Lone Wolf Prepper. Everybody have a good night. Out.